My home, a small, peaceful kingdom, long gone now. Back then, I served there, a knight to the royal family. I had the honor of serving them directly, within the very walls they called home. I guarded their doors, their ceremonies, their lives. I participated in them. They invited me into them. They told me that their home was my home. My home. I did not grow up within those walls. I was as common as anyone else. I became a knight so that I could become less common. I sought to prove my value, or perhaps to earn it. I did not think I had yet. Anything related to the royal family was valuable. They could only have the finest, they demanded nothing less. That's what I always assumed, living under their rule. And so I wanted to become one of those esteemed possessions, to belong to something great, and become greater by association. They did not see me as their possession. They never acted as if I belonged to them, nor demanded perfection from me. As a knight, I strove for it. That was how I climbed my way through the ranks, until I'd earned the right to serve in their home. And yet, they did not demand it. They did not make me prove my worthiness. Instead, they treated me as if I already had. They treated me as worthy. They made me start to believe I was. We were a small, peaceful kingdom, and I served in my sovereign's home, attending to their needs and assisting in their ceremonies, guarding their doors. I did not know much of combat. None of us did, even those who guarded the gates. War came for us. We were not ready for it. The outcome was inevitable. No amount of dedication could have prevented it. No single night could have held it back. My sovereign knew this. Even so, I wanted to fight for them. I wanted to protect them to the last, to defend them with my life. They told me I had spent so much of my life for them already, that it would be unfair of them to reward that with death. They told me that I deserved a chance to live for myself. They wanted me to live. I argued against it. They told me that history is written by the survivors, and that if all who served them died with them, then they would be forgotten. They told me that I had to live, so that after their kingdom had fallen and its identity was absorbed by its conquerors, someone would remember it for what it had once been, and the character of those who had ruled over it. I couldn't refuse, and so there was one way I could live. My sovereign had a ritual, one surely meant to be used on themselves, rather than a simple knight. But our conquerors were thorough. They would not have stopped until every last member of the royal line was killed. They would not search for a simple knight. My sovereign would die with their country. Its fate was not the responsibility of any one of its knights, but it was theirs. All the lives lost were theirs. They sought to save at least one, so they might rest easier as they awaited what was inevitable. I knew I couldn't have stopped it if I'd tried, no matter how hard I may have tried. But it was only out of honor to their wishes that I was able to let them go. They sealed me in a magical sleep, so that I may lay dormant until the war had passed, till it was safe for me to wake once more. They laid me to rest in a casket of flowers. They thought it fitting, given my name. Deep in the forest, laid in a formal casket, no one someone would search for, nowhere someone would search, and kept in a way that few would think to disturb. Here I would lay, sleeping for many years. I slept while my kingdom fell. I slept while the war ended. I slept while peace returned. I slept.
I, Wildflowers, am a little bunny who used to live all alone in a really big garden. There was a mysterious case with a person in it, who appears to be sleeping, I should note, but I never paid it much mind, only piling it up with more and more flowers. No clue how it got there, but it's always been there since I was here, so I figured, why not put more flowers on it?
I awoke in a garden. My kingdom was long gone, my sovereign with it. The world I awoke in was foreign and unfamiliar, but it was mine to live in. I was given the gift of continued life, and in order to honor those who deemed me worthy of it, I had a duty to use it as best I can. So let's enjoy ourselves together, shall we?